Hello, welcome to the Bella Vista Gardening Program. I'm JBPortillo, and joining me today is Becky Elliott, President of the Benton County Master Gardeners, C.W. Doss, Vice President of Administration, and last but not least, Regina Neely, Vice President of Projects. We're going to talk to you today about all the exciting things that are happening in our organization and a few things about what to do in February for the garden. Before we get started, I'd like to tell you about an upcoming event. The Arkansas Flower and Garden Show will be held this month in Little Rock on February 26th through the 28th. It's a great way to see what's new in gardening, and they have great seminars during the show. The State Flower Show is a part of the event, and you can Google Arkansas Flower and Garden Show to find out all the information on pricing and parking. Okay, so let's get started. Becky, how about you telling us, what is the Benton County Master Gardener Organization?
Benton County Master Gardeners is a group of people. We have about 185 active members in the organization right now. And it's actually just a group of people from all walks of life. A lot of us are retired, many of us are not, still working, but we all love to garden and we all love to learn. Master Gardeners is actually an arm of the of the University of Arkansas Cooperative Extension Service. Excellent. And so we are affiliated with that part of the world.
Right.
And so we just do a lot of community projects throughout the community.
Okay, you said we had about 185
Yes.
members, and I say that because I'm actually one of you.
Yes, you are.
I'm not today, but
Yes, you are.
I normally am. CW, how long have you been a Master Gardener?
I'm beginning my 6th year.
And you moved here from?
I moved here from Shelby County, Tennessee, Memphis. That's where I did my internship, for lack of a better word, and then when I moved to Benton County in December of 2012, I just transferred over and became a Master Gardener in Benton County, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. So.
And the cool thing is, you don't know this until now, but CW is going to be the president next year.
Yes.
And Becky got all excited last night when she talked about that.
I did. And I do every time I talk about it and think about it.
Regina, why did you become a Master Gardener?
Well, I wanted to learn more about gardening. I had gone through the program in Texas, and we moved here 5 years ago, and the information I had was not applicable here. And so I was in the class of 2012 and have learned so much and continue to learn. But the best blessing, I think, is all the wonderful friends, and we have such a great time.
We really do, don't we?
It's so much fun.
We do. So, CW, how does a person become a Master Gardener?
Well, we have at the Benton County Fair several different places around the county during the year that people can express a desire to become a Master Gardener. We take these names that we collect throughout the year and we send out an application probably in late September, early October. The people that want to go through the training and follow up with the program, they send their application in. Then we have a screening committee that screens the application. Each year varies anywhere from 15 to 30 new members that we can accept that year. Then after get the application, the screening process, then in January we have a 40-hour training course that now they become interns, that they'll take the 40-hour training course, and then during the remainder of the year they have to fulfill a total, the first year, of 60 hours of community service and educational hours to qualify to become a Master Gardener.
So you really have to want to be a Master Gardener to do this.
That is correct.
Yes.
Because you're committed, and we really encourage people not just to take the course because it's in the winter and to have something to do, because we do things to help the Extension Office in the county, and your participation is very vital to the continued success and support that we can give.
You know, let's talk about some of the projects. Regina, want to tell us about some of the things we do for the community?
The projects that I'm involved with are those with an outward community focus. And we really are a service organization, and so we're here to help everyone we can in Benton County. One example is the Growing Up Green Committee, and this is an outreach to schools in the county, so to encourage gardening, to help schools if they would like to have a garden. We have a major presence at the Benton County Fair. We have indoor booths, outdoor booths, a flower department, and there's now an expanded plan for an expanded landscape at the Extension Office, sort of a showcase and demonstration garden. We have Market Masters, which is the group that goes to the farmers markets through May through October. And in Bentonville, we are there on the first Saturday of the month, and in Siloam Springs, the second Saturday of the month.
Yes.
And we have educational items and activities. We have children's activities. So it's a fun thing to do.
It
Fun thing
is.
to do.
It really is.
And speaking of Siloam Springs, we also beautify the Ralph and Pauline Henry Memorial Garden there. We have a committee, Ask a Master Gardener, which you know about. And this is just what it says. If you need help, ask a Master Gardener. And there are different ways that we can get information to you. This also includes the Masters Academy, which is a speakers group that will come out to organizations, to clubs, whatever, if you want a speaker that has information about gardening.
Actually, we're going to have that at the end of the program today, contact information on how to do that if you need a speaker.
We have the Lawn and Garden Expo coming up April 30th, and that is our major fundraiser. And there will be booths with information and demonstrations, and we have a huge plant sale, and a favorite thing is the All Things Garden yard sale. You can find all sorts of things there. We also help out with the Peel Mansion and Compton Gardens. When they need some help from Master Gardeners, they put out the word, and we show up. And that's one of my favorite activities. We also have Benton County Plus, which includes a lot of different type of activities, more seasonal or short-term beautification of Benton County Courthouse yards, Secchi Day at Beaver Lake, the Bella Vista Veterans Wall of Honor. We also work there. So we have a lot of activities, and there's always something for everybody to do.
Yes, even if you don't want to be out in front of the public,
Right.
There's
Right.
a lot of that goes on behind the scenes, right? Okay. So, CW, I know you are the Vice President of Administration. What does that mean?
Well, like any organization, we have certain things that have to be done just to make the organization run, because as Becky said, we've got 185 active members, so when we get together, it's a pretty large group of us, and guests are invited. Spouses come with a lot of their mates that are members, so it gets to be a pretty big deal. So, like at our meeting, we have an audio-visual committee, we have IT stuff, we have
Hospitality.
television, all of that kind of stuff on the screen for the audience to look at as Becky's leading the meeting, and then slide presentation by our speakers. And we do have very outstanding speakers at each of our meetings. Membership, we are required after the first year. As I said, you need 60 hours. After the first year, that goes to 40 hours. All your hours are kept electronically by the individual. They record their hours, and these hours are used. They have no monetary value per se, but I think the state assigns like 20 bucks an hour to them, and you can imagine tens of thousands of hours. And then the people in charge of the Master Gardener program out of Little Rock can go to the legislature and say, this is what the Master Gardeners volunteers did, and it would equate to this many millions of dollars. So, because we are a section of that.
So we're not just Benton County, we're helping Arkansas.
We're helping Arkansas. It's a nationwide, and I guess it's a worldwide organization, but started some years ago to county agents back in those days were overwhelmed in the springtime with phone calls about what's on my tomatoes or what's my peas ain't doing something. So, and people came in to help the Master Gardener answer those questions. And now with Google and all of that, some of that has changed. We've now got Speakers Bureau outreach, so that's some of the things we do. Just maintenance activities is what we do.
So somebody tell me, Becky, tell me about this amazing book.
This is what we call our Who's Who directory, and it is a compilation of all of our members, a little bio on each one of us, which helps us to get to know each other better. It lists all of our meeting dates, all of our projects, a little description about each of the projects that we have going on all year long. Just anything and everything that you would want to know about our Master Gardener organization is housed in this handy-dandy, beautiful little book. It's my Bible. And I think you could say that for CW and Regina too, because I carry it with me all the time, because as president, I'm constantly contacting one of you or one of the other members of the organization about what they're doing on their committee, how it's going, all kinds of communication that I need. I just turn to this little book, and it's wonderful. And two of our members just recently put it all together. They edited it, they had it printed, and then they went out and sold ads in the community and to our own Master Gardeners who have their own businesses. And we paid for this little book this way. That was one of our fundraisers, and it went beautifully. So.
You know what I'd like you to do? I think it would be fun. I know that at the end of each meeting you kind of select a page out there. Would you just read us one?
Oh, sure.
I think it'd be fun because we each have to do a little bio, and we have special quotes and all kinds of wonderful things. And you never know what you're going to read in this book.
You know, this is a good example of a gal that came to us from another country, Anita Thacker. She was born in India. Anita and her husband came to Arkansas from India. She feels that gardening adds years to life and life to those years, which is so true. Anita enjoys painting, cooking, and gardening. Favorite plants include coleus, palms, and jasmine. Garden work, even weeding, helps her to focus and to plan her days. There's all kinds of different stories in here, and that's what makes it so fun. I told the group last night at our monthly meeting that when I became president, I thought, I want to get to know all these people. So I just sat down and read through everybody's bios, and what fun that was. And I encouraged all the members to sit down and do that, because it really is worth your time.
And that just goes to show you what kinds of people
Yes.
are attracted to this group.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. So what are you looking forward to the most in 16? Are we going to do something amazing, more amazing than we usually do, or what are you looking forward to the most?
Probably one thing that I don't feel like we have done as well as we should have in the past is to have more beautification projects throughout the county, and then not only to have them as projects for our volunteers to work on, but then to put signage in front of those, so that as the community is out and about, they will notice a sign that says this project was done as part of the Benton County Master Gardeners, and then that might encourage them to go, oh, I want to be part of that organization. So that's something that we have not done well in the past, and so the community is going to start seeing signage like that throughout the whole county, actually.
That's excellent. You know, this particular show is sponsored by the Bella Vista Garden Club, but we have a lot of members that are the same, correct?
We do. We have a lot of members that are in both organizations, and actually, I think that is a benefit. because what they do well, they share with Benton County Master Gardeners. What we do well, we share with them.
Yes.
We take the best of both and learn from it. All of
Yes.
us learn from it.
Yes.
So it's a great benefit.
You have anything to add to that, Regina? What are you looking forward to, other than the year being over?
No, that's fine. I really am looking forward to working on these different groups, with the different groups, because that's where you really make friends. And I think, you dig in the mud and it's cold, or you have compost on your face and straw in your hair. You bond, you tend to bond with people
Yes.
when you're in that situation. The expo, it will be great fun. I just love that. The farmers market's great. I'm happy to do everything.
Well, tell me about that expo. I think I understand that all the plants and the things that are in the booth for sale are donated?
They're all donated by
By Master Gardeners.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are busy right now potting up plants that we can sell. And we had last year, year before, trees, shrubs, flowers, annuals, perennials, herbs. What else do we have to?
Some
to
vegetables.
plant? Some vegetables.
Yeah.
And then some items were already in containers, and you can buy the plants with the unusual,
Yes.
sometimes, containers.
Yeah.
And we do mostly natives, is that correct? Or we have a mix
a
of
mix,
a
a
mix of
mix.
both?
We do
Okay.
have a lot of natives.
A lot
Yeah,
of natives.
yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yes, me too. That's exactly right. Well, let's talk just a few minutes about some things that we need to do in February, just since I have all you experts here.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. First of all, I'll start off with houseplants. This is the time of the year that a lot of houseplants die from over or underwatering and being in a dry environment. Now, they're kind of happy because they're not outside freezing, but at the same time, many of us, including me, tend to make them go away sometimes and not mean to. And you also need to watch for spider mites and scale and things like that. Tell us, Regina, what to do about trees and shrubs.
Trees and shrubs, you want to make sure that they're not dry. I mean, not dry for extended periods. You want to keep up with the watering. Toward the end of the month, fertilization, except for spring blooming plants, you don't want to fertilize those first. And you can prune toward the end of the month, or maybe in March, it's better. But you don't want to prune any spring blooming shrubs, because you'll trim off all of your
You
all
won't
of
have
your
any
blooms.
blooms.
Right. So that's
pretty much
good.
what you
Crepe
do?
myrtles are very popular, so those can be pruned also. But with the weather that we've had the last few days, it's so beautiful. It was so tempting to get out and pretend spring was here, but it's not here yet, so we need to hold off, really.
Okay, CW, what about the lawn?
Well, as Regina said, February is a month that can trick you, so you really don't need to do a lot. The first thing about any lawn, and it's not too late, it's never too late, but to do anything when it comes to fertilization or soil amendments, you really need to get a soil test, regardless of whoever you are, and this is a yearly thing. And surprisingly enough, and thankfully enough, the soil samples are done by the University of Arkansas, and for Arkansas citizens, it is a free charge. You go to our extension office, which is at 1204 Southwest 14th Street. It's right next to the sheriff's office in the Bogle Family Center. There's instructions there. They give you a little white box that you fill with your soil sample. Fill out information, take it to them. They send it in for you. The report comes back. The county agent, who we're very fortunate to have a great guy, and Neil Mays, he will make notes on there. It tells you what exactly how much fertilizer or whatever to put out and to amend your soil. I mean, don't just go put lime out because it's spring and you think you need to put lime, because you may be doing more harm than good and maybe just wasting your money. So
Yeah.
the main thing with the lawn, in my opinion, is get a good soil sample. I did mine last fall. I know exactly what to do to it in March now. So that's behind the way. And the sooner the better, because farmers across the state use this service, and they may send in 300 soil samples. So they get pretty busy at the lab. So right now is a good time to do it, or normally it takes a couple of weeks. Right now it may take you a month, but I would highly recommend doing that. So
Absolutely. Well, Becky, what about those roses?
Everybody loves roses, I do believe. It's one of our favorites. Not only Master Gardeners, but even if you're not a Master Gardener, you love roses. I learned something in our instruction classes when I went through in 2007, and that is that anything that blooms early, you prune it early, and many of those things right after they bloom. If something blooms late or all through the summer season, you prune that late, which means late February, early March generally. Now I love to prune. So I kind of get prune happy, and I wanted to start pruning this last weekend, like Regina said, when it was 65 degrees out. But I didn't, I held off. But in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I will definitely get out there and prune my roses. And you can go ahead and put dormant spray on them if you want. But I normally trim my rose bushes back to maybe even a foot. I trim them way back because my knockouts especially, they go crazy in the summer, and they can get too big.
Yes.
So that's just my rule of thumb for taking care of my roses.
I think it's a beautiful rule. I like it. Okay, Regina, what about those perennials?
Oh, perennials are my favorite. It's a time now that we can divide them and replant, and when you have those extras, you put them in a pot and you donate them
To the
because
expo.
we'll have them for sale at the expo.
There you go.
It's a great time to see what you have and to share what you have. And we probably won't put those out right now, but it's time to divide.
Okay. All right, now, CW, the grasses. I mean, I know we talked about the lawn, but what do you think of, what would you do for grasses?
well, grasses. Right now, there's not a whole lot really to do. One thing I would recommend, I don't know about your yard, but I've got a zoysia grass, and I don't think it makes a lot of difference. And I have a lot of problems with broadleaf weeds in my grass in the springtime. So at the end of February is a very good time to put out pre-emerge, because most of these weeds are coming back from seed. So with pre-emerge, it just kills the germination of the weeds, doesn't harm your grass, and it's one of the few chemicals I really think is real good. I'll put mine out the end of February and to control the broadleaf weeds so you don't have a mess in the spring.
Okay, well, you know, what about ththose tall prairie grasses and liriope and things like
Ornamental
that?
grasses.
Ornamentals.
Well, liriope now, if you hadn't already done it, of course I've already done mine, but you can cut those back to ground level. You don't let liriope, which is monkey grass, you don't let it keep growing and growing. Cut it back so it'll come back and make a beautiful foliage in the spring.
You know what I've always heard, I believe our own Dawn Denton told us about this, that if you look down in the grass and you start seeing little new growth coming up, then it's time to shave off that top.
That's good.
Yeah.
But not before that, because all those grasses actually are a nice habitat for birds and seeds, and they're pretty. They just sway in the breeze.
Yeah,
And
there's not much in the winter landscape that's pretty, and so those grasses, especially the tall grasses, are great to leave because they sway in the breeze and they've usually got the plumes on them. So that's just something in the landscape of interest
Yes.
during the winter.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it is time now to start whacking those things back.
You know what else? Dawn is one of my favorites. I really enjoyed during the training this year a comment she made. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys do this, but when you're redecorating a room in your house, you look at it from the door, you look at it from the couch, you look at it from all these different directions. And she said to do that with your yard.
You bet.
You know, I never thought of that. But I think it's a beautiful thing. Okay, so wintertime is time to actually, or annuals and vegetables in particular, now's the time to get that hot chocolate or the coffee or tea or whatever you like and go through those seed catalogs. What fun.
That's so funny. I mean, some people are looking at shoes and handbags, and we're looking at seeds and
That's right.
bulbs.
That's right. And I know that actually some of us have taken on the task of actually planting seeds to try to get them ready for the expo too. So that's exciting. And you kind of look for easy to grow things. Now, easy to grow doesn't mean invasive. For instance, something that's going to march across your garden and go into your neighbors and make them really angry. But you know, some things reseed easily, some don't. Okay, so while you're, you can also go online. There's a lot of information, websites about things. Neil Mays, our extension agent, has actually asked that we don't believe everything we see on Google, because he prefers, as we should, that it be backed by scientific data. And we have so many flyers and things at the extension office on that kind of thing.
You want to give that website?
Yes, and in fact, while you're online and you're looking up that, remember the Master Gardeners website. CW, want to tell us what that is?
The Master Gardener website? Benton County Garden.org.
Right.
And the other,
There it is. There we go. That helps too.
that's Bella Vista Garden Club there. We're Benton County Garden.com.
Yes.
And the other website that may be of interest to you is uaex.edu. And when that website opens up, you can see a place, publications. Click on publication, and you got a menu of every gardening publication that's ever been printed by the University of Arkansas.
Yes.
Just about any problem you got, you can find an answer to there if you can't get someone to help you. So it's a very nice, valuable resource that we have in Arkansas.
And it's a reliable resource.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's all done by U of A. So
That's the best part about that website, is that you know what you read there is true.
Exactly. Okay. So the Bella Vista Garden Club, the February meeting, will be held on the 24th, which is the fourth Wednesday of each month. And we meet at 11 at the United Lutheran Church on Cooper Road at Forest Hills. The program this time will be Lou Jasper, and a representative from the Orchid Society of the Ozarks will be presenting everything you always wanted to know about orchids. Guests are always welcome. CW, I believe you're a member anyway of the Bella Vista Garden Club, or you come sometimes.
I am not.
Okay.
I'm not a member, but I have been there.
You were a speaker once for us.
Yeah, well, that's one thing. I'll jump in here just a second.
Yes.
Benton County Master Gardeners, we are not a garden club.
No, we're not.
We're a service organization
Right.
to help Benton County, as Becky said, beautify Benton County and educate. So we're not in competition with the garden clubs. They're our allies, they're not our adversaries for sure. And we've got some great garden clubs in Benton County. So
We do. We want you to mark your calendars for the Bella Vista Garden Club plant sale at the Village Wastewater. We do that every year, and it'll be on Saturday, May the 7th this year. And we are, again, like you, like us, are raising plants and making sure that we beautify Bella Vista. You know, I'm so excited about our daffodil that's called the Bella Vista, and we're planting them everywhere. The city is taking care of it, and so is the POA, and just wait. It's going to be in the spring. All these beautiful Bella Vista daffodils will come up.
Now, do you sell those?
We do. We
Okay,
can.
good.
But I want to thank Becky and CW and Regina for joining me this month. We're all looking forward to participating in your events. I hope you enjoyed the program today, and we'll tune in again next month. We've got some exciting shows coming up for you. Until then, don't forget to stop and smell the roses.